Soyuz MS-17 with Rubins, Ryzhikov, and Kudzverchkov aboard, now 9.5 minutes from touchdown.
Are you ready? Yes. 4.5 is the altitude on the input panel. One more time. 5 minutes past. Let's do it one more time.
Less than 9 minutes until touchdown. The Soyuz altimeter soon to be activated to measure the distance between the Soyuz and land and the rate of descent. All that information being fed into the Soyuz computers that will trigger the soft landing engines firing just milliseconds before touchdown.
Okay. Forward, the descent is in progress. Pressure is 411. COS 0405. Copy. Altitude 3890.
The beeping sound you hear is a radio beacon on the Soyuz spacecraft that is relaying its position back for telemetry on the ground. The Soyuz very stable. The winds are virtually non-existent on the ground at the landing site, according to the latest reports.
Put on the kneecaps.
Russian Mi-8 helicopters with the search and recovery forces and the embedded NASA personnel are now circling the landing zone, preparing to touch down in sequential fashion within minutes after the Soyuz lands. Those search and recovery forces maintaining good two-way communications with the crew on board.
Altitude 500 meters. Control altitude. Standing by for landing. Stopwatches are on. Just relax.
Everything is nominal.
Copy.
In the descent module, the three crew members have cocked their seats in the landing position, tightened their straps against their Sokol launch and entry suits just a bit tighter as they prepare for touchdown.
We confirm the maneuver and
300 difference as 60 meters.
Unintelligible meters. Copy.
Copy, thank you. We're ready.
Sandwiched between the launch of a Soyuz vehicle and next week's launch of a SpaceX Crew Dragon vehicle, Soyuz spacecraft is minutes away from touchdown on the steppe of Kazakhstan.
Past 1,500 meters.
One of the Russian Mi-8 helicopters now in view. That is the foreshadowing of you're being able to see the horizon shortly.
Copy. And
Copy,
the
I
range
confirm
is
1,000
1,000 meters.
meters.
Just 1,000 meters off the ground. Some 2.5 minutes until touchdown.
Copy, 800. Copy, 700. Copy, 500 meters. Crew, get ready for landing.
Just over a minute until touchdown, everything looking good. Touchdown confirmed at 11:55 p.m. Central Time, 12:55 a.m. Eastern Time.
Rob, don't see any sign of any locals. That may just be due to the COVID-19 restrictions. And without video, you can't tell, but most people here do have on masks to follow those COVID-19 guidelines.
And we now have video from the landing site. We just caught a glimpse of Sergei Ryzhikov, and we're looking at the crew members being extracted and other technical personnel clamoring at the very top hatch that you described a moment ago. Ryzhikov is smiling, being attended to by the usual complement of Russian search and recovery personnel.
Blood pressure, 94. Heart rate.
Ryzhikov having completed his second flight into space, 358 days on his two missions.
176111.
Ryzhikov served as the Expedition 64 commander before handing off command of the International Space Station on Thursday to Shannon Walker. the NASA astronaut who will herself be handing over command to Aki Hoshide on April 27th after Hoshide arrives on board on the SpaceX Crew Dragon vehicle, which is scheduled for launch next Thursday.
And if you're looking at Sergei Ryzhikov from the front, our NASA personnel are to the left of him, ready to welcome Kate Rubins back home.
You're watching
look at the top ledge.
Live television from the landing site in Kazakhstan to the southeast of the town of Jezkazgan. Sergei Ryzhikov out of the Soyuz MS-17, awaiting the extraction of the other two crew members.
The crew commander parameters. Please do not.
On the right, carrying a bouquet of flowers, is cosmonaut Yuri Malenchenko from the Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center. Presumably that bouquet of flowers to be handed to Kate Rubins after she's out of the Soyuz.
135 by 85.
And Rob, it looks like one of the personnel just went into the Soyuz to help the extraction process right now. And here's our second crew member.
Okay.
Rob, Kate Rubins is outside of the capsule right now, giving high fives and all smiles. And saying at Kate,
Here, right here.
welcome home. And here she comes.
And even 300 days in space on her two missions, Kate Rubins is home.
Rob laughs and smiles right now as Kate is coming down.
Let's slide down. Okay, here. Hold her and let's go.
And she's being brought over to her chair right now. Okay, Rob. Kate Rubins has been seated in her chair.
Sit down.
Again, all smiles.
Great.
From both Rubins and our NASA personnel. And Kate Rubins now receiving flowers. A beautiful bouquet.
Yuri, thank you. Thank you.
Yuri Malenchenko handing Rubins that bouquet of flowers. On the left of your screen is Rubins' flight surgeon, Dr. Natasha Cho. On the right is a Russian nurse, Roxana Batsmanova, who operates every landing operation as one of the complement of NASA nurses.
And Rob, we just asked Kate how her ride down was, and she said, quote, "It was awesome."
Please step back.
So Rubins and Ryzhikov now out of the Soyuz, just waiting for the Spacecraft.
Sergey, please move over there.
And Kate Rubins just realized Drew Morgan was here, so that was also a good reunion.
On a placid Saturday morning on the steppe of Kazakhstan, Sergei Kud-Sverchkov about to be extracted.
What? Pressure? No, oxygen. Oxygen 95.
And Kud-Sverchkov is now out.
The measurements have been taken, and I will give it to you right away.
Rob, again, these chairs are where the crew will sit for a short time for their first set of medical evaluations, and they'll also be able to take their first phone call from back here on Earth. This is also a period of time for their equilibrium to get readjusted to gravity after living and working in.
Okay, you ready?
And Kud-Sverchkov is now being carried over to his chair. So all three crew members now extracted and seated.
Flight surgeon is taking measurements.
Man, it's fun to be on this side of things. Holy cow, dude, that was level.
Television continues to come in from the landing site where just 30 minutes ago the Soyuz MS-17 crew, the Expedition 64 trio of Kate Rubins, Sergei Ryzhikov, and Sergei Kud-Sverchkov landed upright in their Soyuz vehicle to complete their 185-day mission. You just caught a glimpse a moment ago of the nearby inflatable medical tent, the orange tent, that they will be carried into a few moments from now to begin medical tests before boarding individual helicopters for about a 2-hour, 15-minute flight back to the staging city of Karaganda.
Okay.
Courtney, I think we have you reestablished now. Tell us what the scene is looking like at the landing site.
Dr. Rob, well, as you know, all 3 crew members now in their seats. Kate Rubin's having conversation with the NASA personnel on the side. Again, she said that her ride home was awesome, and she just said that it's really moving on the side of things. So we're excited to do. I know she had a great time living and working aboard the International Space Station. Again, they'll stay in these chairs for their first set of medical evaluations before being carried over to the tent. And Kate Rubins is now on the phone making her first call from back here on Earth.
Is Mom there?
Svechkov, having completed the first mission in his career of 185 days that included a spacewalk last November with Sergei Ryzhikov outside of the Poisk module that served as an airlock for the first time for a Russian spacewalk. That Poisk module was the departure point earlier this evening for the Soyuz MS-17.
Not everybody's here yet.
And Courtney, even in the remote steppe of Kazakhstan, there's always time for a photo opportunity.
Okay. One more picture of the crew commander.
We should be seeing the crew hoisted in those chairs to be brought into the medical tent momentarily. For those just joining us, the Soyuz MS-17 landed at 11:55 p.m. Central Time, 12:55 a.m. Eastern Time, about 34 minutes ago. Russian Mi-8 helicopters carrying members of the search and recovery forces quickly landed in sequential fashion, one by one, on a perfectly clear morning on a Saturday morning on the steppe of Kazakhstan to the southeast of the town of Zhezkazgan, to begin the extraction of the crew one by one. Ryzhikov was first out, followed by Kate Rubins, and then Sergei Svechkov. And you can see the crew members now being raised in the chairs to be brought to the nearby medical tent. Courtney, we see Ryzhikov signing his spacecraft. Give us a quick glimpse as to what's going on.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, Rob, the group just took a big group photo with all of the personnel from Roscosmos and from NASA. Again, from here, the crew will be carried into the medical tent for further medical evaluation. After those evaluations are finished, the crew